Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So on this one, we got some YANKUM ropes. So now the side-by-side is ready to help people out at the dunes. We got a 5/8, 30-foot long kinetic energy rope here from YANKUM, and we got some 5/16 soft shackles. In this rig, I've got a winch, I've got snatch blocks, I've got extra line, I got tree savers, I've got tow point for the back. Pretty much got it covered. If somebody needs help or if I need help, I've had my rig stuck in my own yard over here in the side and had the winch off up to a tree, back down to another one, and round, and pull myself backwards and sideways with my winch that's on the front. So you got to have lots of gear with you. And then we've been at the dunes before where we had to rescue our buddies. They get high centered on stuff. You want to have a good rope. When you're at the dunes, you don't want it to be too short, because you don't want to be, if you're the one being towed, you don't want sand being thrown at you. And even at 30 feet, you're probably still going to get it. So I'll bring you over here. All right, so here we go. We've got this here. These are hand tied, hand dipped. You got this coating on the end to just help it take more abrasion. Kind of a signature. Well, as you can see from their sticker, their name has that little black piece at the top. Comes from that. So we got that 30-footer right there. We got these soft shackles right here, where these just extend out and slip over the knot, and then they come tight. That works good. Try to keep all the metal out of your recovery that you can. And we'll take you over here, and not only do we have the general covered, but we've got this big old tank ready. You never know when you're going to need it with the tow rig. So this one, we have a 1-inch 30-foot long, and we have 7/16 shackles. So these are rated for this big of a truck. That one over there is rated for a side-by-side. I don't remember offhand what the weight is it goes up to, but they have them like for four-wheelers. You got the little one, and then you have the side-by-side one, and then you got them for SUVs, and this one might go into a small SUV. I don't remember. Anyway, don't hold me to it. Then they got like a 7/8 for Jeeps and stuff, and then when you get into a four-door Jeep like my wife's JK, you're borderline. So I think it would usually still fall under the 7/8. The truck, because this is a full-size 1-ton crew cab, it falls under the 1-inch. If you had like a half-ton F-150, you'd probably use the 7/8, and that'd be best for the Jeep over there also. So this is all on their website. They have a full sheet that tells you what size you should have for your vehicle. You want to size them for the vehicle that's actually doing the pulling. And these things, if you haven't seen my previous video on the little one I got for the four-wheeler, go back and watch that. But these things are, best way I can describe it is they're like a rubber band. So you take this thing and you hook it up, and then when you go to pull out, it'll stretch a little bit, and then that energy builds up, and then it contracts, and it helps to pull you out, and you don't get that hard thud like you would with just a tow strap. You know, if your buddy's broke down and he's sitting on flat ground, you could throw a tow strap, the kind you get from the auto parts store, and you can tow them back to camp. But if they're stuck, you don't want to use those. You want to use a kinetic energy rope. YANKUM is sourced in America, made in America. They have a machine that does this. This is double braided. They have a machine that puts the rope together, and then these are hand tied. This is hand tied. These are hand dipped, all done in Idaho. American products, American labor, American company. And then these soft shackles, again, if you haven't seen my last video, I'll show you how you do these, and go watch the other one when you're done with this. Anyway, so they have a knot on one end, and they have this slip knot on this end. So you just slide that back, grab this other end, put it over it, then you just tighten that up, and you're good to go. So anytime you can keep metal out of your recovery system, you're going to be way better. Sometimes a shackle is the right thing to do, a regular D-ring metal shackle. Make sure you use one that's rated for the job you're doing. But these here are nice. They don't mess up stuff. If you got a hook to, like I'll show you on the side-by-side over here. Say you had to hook onto an A-arm right there because a vehicle didn't have a good toe point. Here, I'll take you in closer. So say you had a side-by-side that didn't have a hitch. Well, you'd have to go around the A-arm to pull them out. You don't want to do that if you can avoid it. You want to go to the frame. If you're going to have to go to an A-arm, it'd be best to have the real long shackles, which they do make these in longer shackles. They call this a 10, but they have one that's like twice that long. You could put one on each and put your strap right in the middle. Or you could keep a small strap and make a little bridle. Anyway, that's last case, or that's only if you don't have any other option. And then over here on trucks, sometimes you don't have hitches or you're pulling out an SUV, so you try to get under there and you hook to a frame or around the axle. Make sure you don't get the brake lines, different things like that. Well, that's not going to work with metal. You want to have something soft like this. And the perfect example of this would be on the front end of these things. These front bumpers are not really built that heavy when you got a factory bumper on here. So finding the spot to hook on here is a little tricky. I would probably hook it around these two bars because they're tied into those bolts right there. And that's probably going to be the strongest point on this particular one. Still, I wouldn't want to pull too hard. Hopefully, I will never have to try that on these full-size trucks. Most of them nowadays have got toe points on them, so that makes it easier. And then you take one of these, put it through that toe point, and you are good to go. So they've got the kinetic energy ropes, they've got soft shackles, they've got line for putting synthetic line on your winch, they got snatch blocks, they got all your recovery needs. They have it all there. So go check them out. Like I said, there'll be a link in the description below, and when you get to checkout, put in Dreams10 and you'll get an extra 10% off your order. All right, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.